Thank you, Cathaoirleach. Leader, a few issues I'd like to raise this morning. Why, after 2 months since the cyber attack, is the Department of Health using this as an excuse for not coming in to answer questions into this House under commencement matters? I'm sick to death of people who are in jobs refusing to do their job. The amount of funding the HSE is receiving in our annual budget does not mean they can shirk their responsibilities. 2 months is long enough, Leader, and I ask you to address this issue with your government ministers immediately. The second issue is the welcome news on the changes to the employment permit system. As of yesterday, healthcare assistance is now removed from the ineligible occupation list within the following framework. This is a welcome change, as less and less people in our own country are entering this sector in the labour market. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it should be encouraging home care for our elderly. What a lot of people may not know is that families may claim relief on actual costs of employing a carer. The last point I must make this morning is in relation to our mainstream media. The scaremongering and fear that is tripping off the tongues of reporters is unnecessary. Not only have they now effectively become the government's spokespersons, they have never looked for what they advertise as the truth matters. The alternative voice of reason is rarely heard in this country. The pictures from the G7 of all leaders sitting round a conference table unmasked says a lot. Yet those who are leading us here have us sitting here in a building costing $25,000 a day. This madness must stop. Like many of my colleagues in this chamber, I will be vaccinated before we return to business in September. We must show confidence in our belief of vaccines. I will not be wearing a mask once I'm double vaccinated. Either we believe it works or we're fooling the people. Variants will be with us for decades. People will present with different symptoms monthly. I also want to support the protest today, but I also want to make sure that the people that are staying back home in Donegal, in Mayo and Clare, that they look out for the people's properties that may be attending the protest today, because with every opportunity there is people that will take advantage of.
Senator Keogan raised something this morning, to be very honest with you, that I wasn't aware of, but it is absolutely not acceptable, Chair, and I know you're responsible for this, but I wasn't aware, and so I'll make inquiries today, that any member of our health team, and we have a number of ministers of state and indeed a senior minister, should be not coming to this House to answer commencement matters with the excuse of a cyber attack. That's absolute nonsense, and I've never heard the likes of it. We'll make inquiries today. But I also just want to acknowledge the comments that the Senator made this morning about our mainstream media. It's something that I think we all hugely rely upon. The fear that I have is that people in their tens of thousands are moving to other far less reliable forms of media and are believing everything that are on all of our social media streams, with the obvious consequences. But if we can't turn on our mainstream media every single day without having to listen to the abject fear that's being pumped through the airwaves, it's not really a surprise why people are going to turn off. And so I just want to acknowledge your comment, Senator, and just say that for the record.